You know, there are many reasons why people get involved in real estate or become realtors or real estate investors. I think one of the biggest reason why I am getting involved in the industry really has to do with a recent experience of a very dear family friend who is in the process of selling the family house. And the family has lived in the area for 30 plus years and is now through just transitions of life. Life happens, if you will, and they're selling the family home, and one of the family members, the father, is moving away. The kids of the family are I grew up with and are very close to even today, and one of them is even the godmother of our youngest son. But just seeing the family go through the process of selling the home is really what instilled in me, I guess, the drive to be involved in real estate. And that's because it's an emotional process. It's not just selling the house. It's not just selling an asset and taking the money and running. It's much deeper than that. There's a lot of family history here. And the family is a longtime Saratogan family and a longtime family friend of ours. And there's a lot that needs to be thought through that. These homes have a high value, which is wonderful, but there's a lot to think about around that and how to manage that sale properly, how to take advantage of the right tax credits or the right tax structure to avoid huge capital gains. There's also a lot of things to think about transferring the tax base from one home to another, and you're allowed to do that once I believe you get over the age of, I think it's 55, you can take advantage of that tax credit. There's things to think about like Prop 13, Prop 60, Prop 90, and those are the kinds of things I think it's important to know and to be able to advise families that are going through a similar process. And it's that long time family who's been in the area a long time, if you will, own the house, bought it many years ago, and needs to consider those things on top of the emotional side, which is moving on to another phase of life. And I'm very empathetic towards that because I'm in the same boat, and I've been in Saratoga for 40 plus years. My family still lives in the same home that I grew up in, and it's just not another asset. It's an entirely different point of view and on how and why to sell the home, and then how do you do it intelligently and to provide the most value for the family moving forward. And that's where my calling is to help those that are like me, that are like our family friends, and help them do it the right way and to the most advantageous way to benefit everybody, and also to benefit the new buyer as well, to make sure that they make the right choice. So anyway, enough ado about that. I'd love to take you on a quick tour of the house that our friend is selling, and just share with you some of the stories I've had about the home. And it's a little melancholy that we're going through this now, but that's the cycle of life, and I'm excited that this family is moving forward in a very positive way. So that's it. Okay, more later. Bye. Yeah, this house holds a lot of memories for me, and the reason why is that we became really good friends with the family that moved in here, and I think they moved in '87. But I remember when they moved in, we were excited. They're boy and a girl, and a mom and dad, and we were all about the same age, parents and the kids, and it was really great, and we became fast friends. And I remember they first moved in, the house needed a lot of help. So my family, my mom, dad, and I all pitched in and helped them paint these walls. And I remember having painting parties up here and just spending time together, getting to know each other, painting and freshening up the house a little bit. And it was a special time, just spending time together, getting to know one another, and helping a neighbor out. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen as much anymore. Which is kind of a bummer. But that's the way it is. But I spent a lot of time painting. As a matter of fact, I remember spilling a little paint in the closet here on the hardwood, but it looks like that's disappeared. But things that you remember. Anyway, more to come. This is kind of the basement area of the house. It's very rare for a home in California to have a basement, let alone in the Golden Triangle area of Saratoga. Anyway, this is a special room, fond memories. brought on by the 89 earthquake. There's a pool out there, and 89 earthquake happened just 2 years after this family moved in. And on that fateful day, the earth shook and the water moved back and forth and then slipped over the edge of the pool, down a series of steps, and then through that door, and then all over the floor here, and into this bathroom and all over the place. It didn't cause any permanent damage, which is great, but I just remember that the instant after it stopped, the family came running out across the street, like, what was that? Oh my God. And it was the earthquake, so I spent the afternoon helping them mop up, or actually evening, because it happened in the late afternoon, helping them with a wet dry vac, cleaning it all that up. And yeah, scary time, but we all lived through it, and just neighbors helping neighbors. I learned an interesting lesson about watching this house go through the sales process. The house, as you could see, looks very staged, because it is. But there's a couple things I learned about that. One, it makes sense to stage the house, to declutter it, to depersonalize it. That makes sense. Helps the seller or the buyer imagine themselves in a very contemporary looking home. It looks fresh and new, and you want to buy that bright shiny object that looks nice and you can imagine yourself in, etc. But I also learned something else. It also helps the seller not only get the best price for the house because it is cleaned up and doesn't look like it's just lived in. It looks like a beautiful brand new home, or a beautiful home. But it helps the seller almost get emotional detachment to the house. So it's the seller thinks they're selling a house instead of selling their home where they had lived 20, 30 years in. And I didn't really clue in on that until I talked to the seller just recently. And he said, during that selling process, I realized with the home stage, I was selling just the house. I wasn't selling the home that we raised our family in. And you know, that kind of touched a heartstring. I get that. But that's the importance of, from my perspective, of being a compassionate realtor and being a partner to the seller and helping them get that or get there so they understand the importance of staging, not only to help them out from their own emotional perspective, but also to help them think about selling a home as a business transaction and making it look its best so it could sell for the best price or what the market will bear. So that's just a factor of business, a factor of psychology. There's a factor of spirituality there too. But it's an important thing to bring to the table and really work with people during that selling process, which I've learned is a very difficult time. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.